Good evening and welcome to Trinity Cathedral in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Todd Wilson. I'm the music director here at Trinity Cathedral and also artistic director of Music and Art at Trinity, which is the music and concert outreach arm of the cathedral. Music and Art has sponsored our Wednesday brown bag concerts for the past 42 years, the longest running free concert series in northeastern Ohio. And we'll be starting our 43rd season this coming month in October, the first Wednesday of October, with Jake and Sarah, two very talented saxophonists. And they are regulars on our brown bag program. So, of course, our programs this fall will be live streamed. So we hope you'll tune in at noon on Wednesday, October 7th, as we kick off the 43rd season of the brown bags. Tonight is our third in a series of 3 live stream concerts, and the first 2, of course, featured Mark Kosauer playing the complete cello suites of Bach. This third one is a different musical menu, chamber music. We're going to continue the B theme. We go from Bach now to Boulanger and Brahms and Benjamin Britten. So a lot of Bs involved in tonight's program. Splendid composers, great music, each piece. We offer these concerts free of charge, of course, but there's an opportunity to donate, and we hope that you'll take us up on that opportunity. You'll see the prompt at the bottom of your screen, and you can donate at any time in the course of this evening's program. All the proceeds that are given are divided equally between Music and Art at Trinity Cathedral and the COVID relief efforts of Arts Cleveland, wonderful organization who assists arts groups of all sizes and shapes across the greater Cleveland area. So we very much appreciate anything that you can send. And if you're like me, you might find that just sending a check in the mail, the old-fashioned way, is perhaps the simplest. And you can do that by making your check out to Music and Art at Trinity Cathedral and mailing it to that same outfit at 2230 Euclid Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44115. And just put live stream concert in the memo line of your check. Anything you send, we're very, very, very grateful. Thank you for joining us tonight. And the first musical item on our menu is 3 improvisations for the organ by Nadia Boulanger. Nadia Boulanger was the renowned French teacher of music in the largest sense through most of the 20th century. She lived to be 92 years old, and she taught right up until shortly before she died. The list of her pupils is a staggering list. I just Googled it this afternoon. I'd never seen a comprehensive list of all of her pupils, and it's dazzling. It's pretty much a who's who of music. Composers, conductors, pianists, organists, many other types of musicians, all studied in her Paris apartment, which was a famous place for decades. She was herself a pianist and an organist and appeared in concert playing those instruments a lot early in her musical career. These 3 pieces come from that time. 2 of these pieces are also arranged for the cello and the organ, but they originated as pipe organ pieces, and they're probably most successful that way. I'm seated, as you can see, at the Flentrop pipe organ here in Trinity Cathedral, and our organist tonight to play these pieces is my friend and colleague, our associate musician here at Trinity, Nicole Keller. And so I'll vacate the bench in a moment, and actually, this is Nicole's birthday, so I think you'll all join me in singing a virtual happy birthday to Nicole as she shares her music making with us. And I was just looking up Nadia Boulanger, as I mentioned, and I noticed that her birthday is 2 days ago, the 16th of September. So this is a big birthday week for Boulanger and Keller. And we thank you for tuning in tonight, and with that, please welcome Nicole Keller to play the 3 improvisations by Nadia Boulanger.
Thank you, Todd, for having Liz and I back at beautiful, iconic Trinity Cathedral, especially hearing the incredible organ playing of Nicole Keller. It is a thrill to be back. Actually, it was 9 years ago that Liz and I came at Todd's invitation to do the 3 Brahms sonatas. And there's nothing quite like the intimacy of Brahms chamber music, from his piano quartets and piano trios and string sextets and, of course, these 3 sonatas. So the middle sonata in A major was written in 1886. Brahms was on a vacation in Lake Thun, Switzerland, awaiting the newest love of his life, an alto, coming to stay with him. And of course, Brahms's infatuations had been tabloid fodder of yesteryear. Who can forget his desire for his best friend's wife, Clara Schumann? But this sonata is a little different from the 2 that bookend it. It is more lyrical, pastoral. The tempo marking allegro amabile gives it that loving feeling, and we hope you enjoy it. Thank you. What a thrill, once again, to play in this cavernous but beautiful acoustic of Trinity Cathedral. Keeping with the Viennese theme, we're going to go a couple generations later than Brahms to the Austrian violinist Fritz Kreisler, who did not have a brand of car named after him, but he did take a lot of obscure Baroque composers like Martini, yes, that's one, Pugnani, and others, and did little encore vignettes in the style of. And something interesting about Kreisler was his wife would lock him into the bedroom and collect his substantial fees, and she was worried about the gravy train running out, so she wanted to make sure her husband still sounded good. This is Fritz Kreisler's Tempo Diminuito in the style of Pugnani.
Thank you so much, Andrew and Liz. It's music making like that by musicians like these that probably has been at the heart of our brown bag concerts for many, many years. And indeed, Liz and Andrew are pillars of that series. And it's hearing that just reminds me, as I think it does all of us, what a treat it is to make music in this beautiful space, and in a sense, how much we miss it in these strange weeks and months that we're living through, and how much we look forward eventually to getting back to it. I think probably all of us, musicians and listeners, will appreciate this sort of thing just a little bit more when we come out on the other side of all this. So in that sense, it's a really encouraging and uplifting opportunity for us to make music with you and for you tonight. We changed centuries now, going from Brahms and Fritz Kreisler to Benjamin Britten. And this is Britten smack in the middle of the 20th century with his Abraham and Isaac. It's the second of 5 canticles that Britten wrote over the space of about 25 years. Just they were for occasions, but he just wrote them as the need arose. And the second canticle was from 1952, and perhaps of the 5 is the best known because the story itself is so well known and so gripping, and the music is fabulous, as one would expect. Britten wrote this for just 2 singers and piano accompaniment. So when we first were thinking about this program, this is one of the original social distancing pieces. And this was back in May when the idea of social distancing was a little newer than it is to all of us now. But 2 singers standing apart, and the tenor is Abraham, countertenor is Isaac. There's piano accompaniment, and of course, the voice of God has to enter into this every so often as well. So Britten had the ingenious idea of combining the 2 singers in sort of unison homophonic type writing, which makes a very different sound effect. And you'll hear J.R. and John turn around so that that different effect is heightened by a sense of remoteness as they're aiming away from the camera and the microphone. That's when God is speaking, as you'll well know. The story of Abraham and Isaac is certainly one of the most challenging and gripping stories amongst the many such stories in the Bible. Britten, for his setting of it, went back to the Chester miracle plays. These were plays that were originated and given in the town of Chester in England, up in the north, very close to the Welsh border. And these were mostly from the 1500s, so the 14th century. Vivid language, lively dialogue. This piece takes about 17 minutes, and it's basically a miniature opera. You'll hear that it divides up into scenes very logically and beautifully, and Britten, as always, sets these words in a matchless and unforgettable way. It's a piece that has been close to my heart for many years, and J.R. Fralick and John McElliott have had the chance to sing it. We've all performed this together, I don't know how many times, but it's really special every single time, and we look forward to sharing it with you now.
hither, my child, thou art so sweet, thou must be bound both hands and feet. To lead me as you will, I must obey, and that is skill. God is commandment to fulfill. Vanity King of bliss. Thy bidding shall be done with. A horned weather here I see, among the briars tied is he. To thee often shall he be, anon right in this place, anon right in this place. Sacrifice he sent me is, and all alone through such obedience grant us, O Lord, ever to thy most holy word. Cut in the same we may across, as this Abraham was bent. And then together shall we, that worthy King in heaven see, in heaven, and dwell with him in great glory, forever and ever.
Thank you, John and JR. Thank you, Benjamin Britten. It's, as I said, it's always a very special privilege to share music like that, and certainly this occasion was exactly that. So we thank you for joining us tonight. I would encourage you, if you're so moved, to donate by following the prompt at the bottom of your screen. And again, all the donations for this evening's program are split equally between Arts Cleveland and Music and Art here at Trinity Cathedral, and we are more than deeply grateful for anything that you might choose to donate tonight. You can also do that by sending a check to Music and Art at Trinity Cathedral and addressing it to 2230 Euclid Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44115, and just put Livestream concert in the memo line of your check. Again, thank you for joining us in this beautiful space. We send you all best wishes for a lovely weekend here in northeastern Ohio, and we look forward to sharing music with you from Trinity Cathedral again, either virtually or eventually live, and we hope you'll join us as often as possible for occasions in the future. Best wishes from all of us here at Trinity Cathedral, and again, thank you and good night.